Audio Jungle.
Okay guys, so finally we are creating our GUI here. So first of all, let's create a new file. Let's call this GUI.py. Okay, we will be using tkinter to create our GUI, and if you are not comfortable with creating GUIs or if you haven't done this before, don't worry, I am not comfortable either, but we can create a basic chat UI. So let's first of all, let's just import our tkinter. From tkinter we'll import everything, and now let's create a base. So this base is the frame. This base contains this thing, these buttons, minimize, resize, and this cross button, this title. So this is the base. Inside base we'll add our other components. So we want our base's title to say, what do we want to say? Let's say Alexa itself. No worries. And let's set a size of our chat box, and let's say our size will be 400 into 500, and let's say we don't want our base to be resizable, right? We can resize this thing, but we want our base to not be resizable, so we'll call this resizable to width will be set to false, and height will also be set to false. All right, now we have our base ready. So if you want to check, what we can do is we can just go base dot main loop, and this will create the base. This is not mail, this is main. All right, now I'll try to run this. What error do we have? Bad geometry. Okay, this is not asterisk, this is X. Alright, let's run this again. Now, as you can see here, we have our base ready. We have these things here, and we have Alexa here. Now we will add a text box here that will display our chat history as it is done in most things. And we will have a chat box, and we will have an input box here and a button here. All right, so let's get started with that. So before starting this calling this main loop, what we'll do is we'll create a chat history text view. All right, so let's just call this chat history, and this is a text. We want this text in our base, and we want it to have border 0, not db, is bd. Bd defines border, will have no border, and it will be set to white, and we want to use the font Arial. Okay, so we have that, and we want this to be non-editable, this text to be non-editable, because it will be showing the history, and this is not where we type to send the message to our chatbot, but it will be showing the history. So we don't want this to be editable, so we'll just go config state equals to disabled. Okay, and what else? Let's say we want a send button, right? We want a send button because when we type something hello, we want a button to click to be able to send that. So we'll create a send button now. This send button will also be attached to base. Now you might be wondering where this will be shown, where will we have this, where we added this and we added this, but where will it be shown, right? We have not defined anything right now, but we will be when we attach these components to our base. So okay, let's proceed. We have a base ready. Let's say the font is, let's do something different now. So even if the font is Arial, what we want to do is we'll make it bold because this is the one we are typing. So let's say we'll make it bold, and the text should be send, and the background color will be, what do you want to, I'll just type some random colors. Let's see what color it is. I'm not sure, otherwise we can always change this later. And now we have an active background color. This active background defines which color to show when the button is selected. And background, let's change this to 3E, 3E, 3E. I don't know which color these are, but we'll see. And the foreground is defined by FG, and the foreground will make foreground white. So white is just FFFFFF. And okay, now one thing to know about this is we created a button. Now we need to define which function to be called when we create a button, right? When you click on the button. So what we'll do is the command that needs to be called when we click on the button is send, right? Now we don't have send at the moment, so let's just create a send function here, and this send function will do nothing at the moment. All right, so we have our chat history, we have a send button. Now we want to create a text view where we can enter what we want to send. So let's call that text entry box, and this is same as this. All right, we have components. I don't think we need anything else. So now we just want to place all these three things in our base, right? So we'll do chat history dot place. Where do we want to place? Now we have, this is the size, as you can see guys, 400 into 500. 400 is the width, 500 is the height. So I've already tried this, and these are the things that you need to use. So this is X and Y is, so what are these X and Y? I'll just explain it to you in a moment once we are placed, because then I'll have something to show to you. For now you can just type with me, and this height of this chat box will be 386, right? And again we'll have, okay, this is not chat history, this is because we want this also in our top, so chat history will be 66. All right, height same, and width will be width will be 370. Width will also be 373, or what is the width? We have 400. Width will be 376. And then we have our entry box. Let's place this. We want our entry box to be placed in the bottom, so X will be 120, not in the bottom right to be exact, and Y will be 400, height will be 80, and width will be 265. All right, now finally we want to place our send button. X will be 6, Y will be 400, and let's say we want this height to be same as our text input field, so it's 80, but the width will be 125. All right, now we have placed all these three components in our base. So let's do the main loop thing. Okay, now let's run this. Let's close this. Okay, as you can see here, we have our things ready. We have our send button. When we click on this, nothing is happening because our command is send, and the send is doing nothing. We will do some things in this now, but let's go over this now. Okay, these are the things, this is pretty common, as I've explained while I was typing this. Now these things, X and Y, let's see chat history, right? This is chat history, where chat history will be shown, this area, right? Now x is 6, y is 6. This means these are the top left coordinates. So we will start our chat history, this text box, in the 6th, where x is 6 and y is 6. So that means this topmost and top leftmost is 0 0. So we proceed 6 to the x, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and 6 to the y, it's 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is where our chat box is starting, guys. As you can see, this is where it is starting. And similarly, we have text entry box. Now if you see here, this is the text entry box, right? Now this is starting in x is 128, y is 400. So this is 0 0. From here we go 128 towards x, this is 128, and we go 400 towards y, that is y is here 400, and this is where we start our text box. And similarly, send button is placed here. So in x coordinate we go 6 pixels to the right, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and from y, this is y0, we go 400 pixels downwards, that is 400 here. So whenever, and mostly in any GUI projects, the top left, this is 0 0. All right, the top left is 0 0. So this is 0 0, and our x is increasing here and our y is increasing here. All right, so this is it. Now we have our things ready, but this button doesn't look good. Anyway, it's fine. So apparently this active is this color. Okay, so if you want to change the color, you can go ahead and explore the colors you want. Now as you can see here, the size is not equaling this. There is this gray space here, so we might want to increase the size of this text chat history thing. So let's say this is also 386. Now if you close this and run this again, now okay, this is filling completely. So now we have our GUI ready. We will type here, we will send this thing here, and this thing will be displayed here, and our bot will be replying in, and the reply will be visible here. So let's go ahead and continue to code our send function. Okay, so now we have created the GUI. So let's get the text from our GUI when the send button is pressed. So right now, when the user presses the send button, we are calling the send function, and the send function is doing nothing. So let's do some things. So let's get what is written. So for that, you can go text entry box dot get, and from first character to the last character. So we are getting from the first character to the last character. And if we write 1c at the end of this end, then it means that we are removing, if there's a new line at the end of the character, we are removing the new line, that is /n or something like that. So, and then we'll be doing strip. So what does this strip do? This strip removes the white spaces from the front of the string and the last of the string. So if we have something like this, then the strip will remove the white spaces at the end and at the front. All right, so that's why we are doing this strip here. All right, now once the send is pressed, we are getting the text that was written using this, and now we will empty that text entry box. So to do that, we'll just delete everything, delete every text that is there. So we just go again, delete from this position to the end. All right, so now we have what was written by us here, and our text entry box is empty. Now let's process this. Okay, so first we check if the message is not empty, then what we can do is we can say chat log dot insert, and we want to insert at the end. What do you want to insert? We want to insert you. That means whoever typed the message, what did you say? You said this thing, and then we want 2 new lines. Okay, after that, what do you want to insert? Okay, we want to insert the response, right? So the response is, okay, this also we want to insert at the end, and the bot says, what does the bot say? We don't have anything, right? So let's find out what the bot says in first. So we'll go response of the bot equals to chatbot response and MSC. Again, if you notice, we don't have this chatbot function. Again, we'll create this function. So let's say def chatbot, right now we'll just pass it and do nothing. And here, okay, let's just return static text here, and whatever is responded, that we will be appending that to our res. Okay, so once this is appended, what do we need to do? Okay, before doing this insert, as you can see, our chat log here is, where with the chat log, where have we initialized the chat log? Chat history. So it's chat history, not chat log, my bad. So our chat history is disabled here, right? So before appending, what we need to do is we need to set the state to normal, and after appending we can change the state to disable again. All right, okay, so now we want this to scroll to bottom. So what we, if we have a lot of history, so what we can do is chat history dot view, and we set this to end. Okay, now let's run this and see if we have gone any far. Okay, okay, we have a GUI ready. Let's try to send hello. And as you can see, you said hello and the bot says static text. All right, pretty good so far. So what is our bot saying? Our bot is just returning static text at the moment, but we need to generate an actual response. So let's get into it. So instead of returning the static text, what we'll do is we'll use our prediction model that we had created, right? And we will get the probability of the statement that the user has entered being in a specific class. So we have here greeting, goodbye, thanks, no answer, right? All these classes here. So we will predict, we'll get the probability of the input being in any one of these classes. All right, so to do that, what we can do is, let's say this is an array of intents, so we will predict class. We'll create this again, and in here we are passing our message, and we also need to pass a model. Okay, we have not created this, but we will create this. So we are actually working in reverse, right? We could have done this, made this first and like that, but we are going in reverse, so it's no worries. So first we created send, and then we are doing this chatbot response. So we will create a function that will predict the classes. Okay, and then once we have our probability of classes here, we will get the class with highest one of the sentence from one of the response from the class with highest probability using this function, using this get response function. All right, and in this get response we are just passing this ints, and from these probability list of probability we will get the response from a class which has highest probability. All right, so let's create these two things now. So let's first create predict class, and here we are passing the sentence and the model, right? So first, now let's load the model here somewhere, or let's not pass these things. I'll just create that static, I'll just make the model global so anybody can access it. So what we can do is, let's import some classes, and then our model will be load model. What did we name our model? I don't remember. Chatbot model .h5, right? Okay, So we'll just call this chatbot model dot h5, and then we also need some more things, but we will get into it later. So let's get working on our predict class again. So now to predict, as we saw here, we had created our words into, where is it? Yeah, we transform the sentence into a bag, right? If you recall, we had a sentence and then we converted that sentence into something like this, right? It is a bag, let's call it a bag. So we have all the words here, all the words from our words data that we had, and all the words that are in the sentence are made 1 1 and the rest are 0, right? So this is what we'll be creating from the sentence. Again, to create that, we will create a function, right? So let's say sentence bag equals to bag of words from the sentence, and what is our words, our the list of words. Okay, so let's import this words too. So our words are pickle.load. I think we had named it words and classes, right? Okay, so it was words.pkl, comma, we'll be reading this in binary mode. So this is, if you know file open, this is read in binary mode. And let's load classes while we're at it. Okay, so class is equal to pickle.load again, and open our classes file .pkl, comma, rb. Again, it's the same thing. Okay, so let's copy these because this is what we are using. Okay, we will need this too. So let's just do it here itself. Now, where are we? So we have this words and the sentence will be passed from our, what is it? This method. Okay. So now what do we need to do is we need to, yeah, we need to create this function, right? That will convert this sentence into bag of words. So let's create that function also. BOW, and this function takes a sentence, and this takes a word. So words is global here, so I'll not use this. I'll just use this words directly. Okay, so in our bag of words function, we'll go sentence words equal to clean up sentence. So what we are doing is we want to clean our sentence, so and we just want to get the words, right? So you can create a new function for this, but I've already created so many functions and I get that you guys might be confused. So what I'll do is I'll not create this function. I'll just do the cleanup here itself. So what do we need to do is our sentence words becomes nltk dot word underscore tokenize, and we'll be tokenizing the sentence as we had created here in train underscore bot also, and then we will lemmatize this thing. We have already done this before, so I'll not be talking about this much. Okay, so we tokenize the word sentence here, and then here we lemmatized it. So we have our sentence words. Okay, so we have our bag here because this function is created. Now what do we need to do is we need to get the response from our model that we have loaded here, model dot predict. Finally, guys, we are predicting, and our input is np dot array. We are converting this sentence bag into np array. Sentence underscore bag, right? And we're getting the 0th value of this predict function. Okay, so now let's define something known as error threshold. Well, this is 0.25. And now we will loop through this thing and convert this into a list. So what we are doing is we are getting results I comma r, that is input and response, intent or response also, you can think of that. For I comma r in enumerate what? Enumerate the response if r is greater than error threshold. So what we are doing here is we are creating a list of lists. So we are creating a list of input and response for each response that we have here. If this r, that is error threshold, is greater than 0.25, r is, if we can see here, I is the input, then r is the error threshold, and if this r is greater than error threshold, then we are getting it. Okay, so you can print this and check this. You'll be clear, and if you have any doubts, you can let me know. And finally, we need to sort this by the probability, right? Because we'll be just getting the first one, that is with the maximum probability. So what do we do is we will sort our results. So we are sorting using this X first, that is this thing, that is error threshold. And we are doing this reverse true because we want the greatest first, not the least one first. So highest probability will be first. Okay, so once the rest is sorted, what do we need to do? We are using our predict class here, right? And we expect, what do we expect? We expect classes with their respective probabilities, right, as a list. So let's create that. For r in results, return list becomes, okay, first we need to define a return list before we use it. Return list equals to dot append, so the key is intent, and then becomes classes classes r0. We're getting the class at this r0 index. Okay, all right, and then we want probability, and probability is string r1. So class is we can get the classes through r0 and probability through r1. Okay, finally we return the return list. Now that we have our predict class ready, we just need to create this get response class and we are done. Very excited for this last part, guys. Now we will have created your first chatbot. All right, so let's write get response and we will be receiving intents here, right? So let's get the tag is the first index. So let's get intent. Now you might be very confused with this, what is happening here and all that stuff, right? So this is actually, I'm getting the class of the first intents here. As you can see, this is what will be returning, and I'm getting this thing using this key, right? So now since we're in the last part, I'm trying to do this a little quicker. You guys can just print it and see what is being returned in each step, and you'll understand this clearly. It's just plain Python, nothing new. I hope you can do that. It will be pretty beneficial for you. If you don't understand anything, just let me know in the comments. And now we'll create list of intents, that is from our, okay, we don't have intents, right? So we need to load that also. Where is our intents? Have we not loaded intents yet? Okay, we have not loaded intents yet, so I'll just load intents equals to JSON dot loads intents dot JSON dot read. Okay, first we need to open this because this is a file. So let's, okay, what did I just press? Okay, open index.json dot read. Yes, so now we have our intents here. So from the list of intents, what were we doing? We were getting the list of intents from this thing. So this is all in intents key. So list of intents is intents dot, not intents dot, it's intents dot, the key as we just saw was intents. So we have our list of intents here. Now for I in list of intents, what we want to do, we want to check if the tag of I, as you can see here, this is an intent. So we are checking this tag, right? So we see if the tag of I equals to tag, that is the tag of our intents that has the highest probability. As you can see here, we had sorted this, right? So the first one will be the one with the most probability. So we're checking if this tag is equals to this tag. If it is, what do we need to do? We need to get the result, actual final result, and it will be random. Okay, why didn't I get the solution? Have I not imported random? Okay, I have not, so I'll just import random. So it's random dot choice, random dot choice, randomly choosing. What are we randomly choosing? We are randomly choosing these things, responses. Okay, so I dot responses, and after choosing this, we are breaking away from the loop and we are returning result. Okay, I think we have done everything. Now let's see what happens when we run this. Okay, first we need to compile the classes and everything, so let's run this first. Okay, so our training is complete and we have this message, yay, created my first model. Now let's run our GUI. Okay, so we have this file does not exist. Okay, I missed the spelling again, like I usually do. Let's see chatbot.model. Where is it? Where am I loading the chatbot? Here is it. Here it is. Now let's run this again. Hopefully this will work this time. Okay, so let's say hello and see what happens. It will take a little time for the first one. After that, it will be a little faster. Okay, so we have an error. What is the error? NP is not defined. Okay, yeah, we need to import NP also, as we have done here. So I'll just copy this, import numpy as NP. Okay, now hopefully I'll get this fixed. Okay, let's say hello. Let's see what do we got. Fingers crossed. Again, we get an error. Failed to convert a numpy array to a tensor. Unsupported object type, non-type. Okay, where is this error? Line 55. Chatbot response and predict 55. So here in chatbot response, where is chatbot response? Chatbot response is probably in predict class. Where is it? In line 23 in predict class. NP array sentence bag. Okay, so here we have our error. What is it? This what is the sentence bag? Is that thing? In our predict class. NP array b. What is the problem here? Should I just print this thing and see? The actual problem is fail to convert numpy array to tensor. So this is probably null. Okay, so we created this, but we are see this is none. This is none because we did not return this. Something needs to be returned. Sentence words. All right, so this thing is returned, and when we use this bow, we will get it here, and this is being converted to NP array. That's why the error, because this was none, because we were not returning anything. That's very stupid. Part of which is because it's late and I'm sleepy. It's 1:48. Okay. Come on, man. Now this is stuck on me. Okay. I think this is the final time. This is the lucky charm. Okay, let's say hello again. Okay, so we have an error again. Input 0 of layer sequential is incompatible with layer. Okay, so many errors. Where do I have this error now? In line 24. In line 24. Okay, what now? I think it's all pretty good now. So what we are providing is not good. Okay, so let's print this here, but that will again take a lot of time. So let me just check if limiter or word lower for word in sentence words. Sentence words, we're just lemmatizing. So we tokenize the sentence here, and then we get words, and we just lematize all of these things. Sentence words, bag of word. Okay, this is very stupid. So actually we are just, what did we do here? So as you can see here, we got a sentence, and then we tokenize the sentence, right? And then we lematize the sentence. But this is just our, just the words in our sentence are lemmatized. We do not create a bag. We just created a list, lemmatized list of the word. So we need to create a bag. So how do we do that? Right? As you can see here, a bag is something like this, 101, but we only have like this thing, hey comma you, lemmatized word. Now we need to convert this into an actual bag. That is what I didn't do. I just did this. So let me convert this into bags now. So for S in sentence words, so first of all, what do we need to do is we need to create a bag that is 0, 0 into length of words. So we have all zeros, right? All zeros, and we have the number of words as the length of the array, this bag array, and we will convert the positions to one that contains this word, right? Our sentence words. So for S in sentence words, what do we need to do is we need to check for I comma W in enumerate words, right? If W equals to S, that is our word, the word is equals to our sentence word, then we change the bags that index equals to 1. Okay, that is all we need to do. And finally we return, what do we need to return? We convert this bag into an np array, right? So np.array, and we have our bag here, and now we are returning this np array here, and now this should work. Finally, this is the third finally. I'm sorry about this, guys. So once we have our responses, it should pretty much work. Okay, let's say hello again, fourth time, and I'm not making myself look good, but it is what it is. Again, chat history must be string and got none type. So why did we get none response? And 62. What do we have in line 62? So it is saying we got response none. Okay, so why are we getting chat response? Chat response. Okay, again, we did not return anything. So let's return this. Now this is get response. It's a string, I guess. Result is, yeah, it's a string. So now finally we are here. That means we were showing that thing. So we'll get something. We will definitely get a result this time. Say hello. Come on, please work. Okay. Finally, hi there. How can I help you? Say what can you do? Let's send this. It says I can guide you through this. I'll say check my blood pressure. It says navigating to blood pressure module. Now that is if we actually have had a blood pressure module, we'd open that thing up. So this is it, guys. This is your first chatbot. Now you can do some changes. You can add more things, more data to the sentence, and it will be pretty much better. And you can direct this to any result you want. And thanks for sticking with me. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope this helped you. If this did, please hit a thumbs up and subscribe. Peace out.